And what is up, everybody? I am in a friend's house out in Iron Station, North Carolina, because I am helping create as well as star in a new Christian web series called Greater Than Life. Here is my good friend, Mr. Owen Who. Say hi, Owen.
Who's this?
Okay. Well, I'm not, as much as I'd love to get into that, I'm not going to be talking about that today. Doing a product toy review on something. Now, granted, it's been out for a while, but I've tested it for the first time last week.
Need some more action fuzz.
As for my other channel. And what I'm going to be talking about today is the Toy to Life game Light Seekers. Now, Toy to Life is stuff like Skylanders, Lego Dimensions, Disney Infinity. They started coming out with more stuff like that, but those were the big three. And after Imaginators, they don't want, nobody's doing Toys to Life, but there was one in particular, one that looked pretty cool, might have been pretty promising. It was called Light Seekers, and the only way to get it was basically via download via app. It wasn't available for any of the consoles. All right, and I'm gonna go over everything that was wrong with it, because unfortunately this, as far as gameplay and everything like that, it's just not that good. But this is what I absolutely love about it. This here is the species, the Tyrax. His name is Jax, and he is a fully posable action figure. This is a freaking action figure as opposed to just a little non-posable figurine that you put on a platform. This guy, he has articulation, for his legs, this, that, the other. His arms move. It's pretty, head moves pretty cool, right? It's cool to have that. And the art design, obviously, his sculpting, the paint job, it's very, very, very interesting and done very well. It's just that, again, back to the gameplay. Here's the biggest problem. Here are all the problems with it. One, it was sold only to Toys R Us, and we all know what's happening with Toys R Us. Two, unlike most of the games that you would get on, I would liken it to Marvel Future Fight. The biggest problem with it is unlike Marvel Future Fight, where you actually have the ability to move the character, the gameplay is entirely too difficult. It's like to move the character, you have to press where you want him to go versus pushing the direction that you actually trying to send him, and him just continue to go there. The attack button doesn't work 100% of the time. There are some cool features about it, and you could even when another cool feature about it is, if you notice his hands, it's got these huge openings, and the reason for these openings is his weapons. They all come in these big, cool, very cool looking accessories. since everything was on clearance, I made sure to get it. And it has an augmented reality feature to use all these different cards for it. Okay, great. And then here's an interesting bit for it. I didn't understand what this was about until he has a peg over here that a peg in his back that it's a little difficult to remove. It does get a little bit tricky, but dang it. Here, hang on 1 second. And there it goes. Comes out completely, right? And the reason being, you plug this into his back. Now, I guess this is powered by like a lithium battery because it has an on and off switch, and
I'm all geared up.
he actually talks.
Mechanical light.
He actually lights up.
When you got brains.
And then when it comes to the game,
Yeah, check me out.
Yes.
Gotta get the tail into it.
when it comes to the game, you keep him close by, and you could actually, he has a jetpack accessory, which I wasn't able to find. There's a part where you actually use him, you're actually using him, moving him
Dizzy.
back and forth. Yeah, I'm making you dizzy.
Check out the electric slide.
Moving back and forth to actually pilot him through that particular segment. But then
This'll make me invincible.
plug his weapons in, and his weapons light up.
Time for a tailspin. You're making me dizzy.
And you use, certain weapons at certain times. You can't just pull them in and pull it out. He's got these buttons that you have to actually release them with. And you use this,
This is just what
all his different weapons throughout the game. Now, another bad thing about it, another part where they messed up with was, it was him and one other like cute looking character, almost plant like character. Those were the only two starter sets available. But then if you look on the back of the box, they had at least 3 other characters that looked way cooler than that plant thing, and there was no figures available for them. And so it was only available in Toys R Us. They only had two different starter packs. If you didn't want him, the other, if you wanted the cuter one, and you couldn't get any of the other characters, and the gameplay is not that good, and it was entirely too expensive. The starter pack, it was like originally like $65 to get started for a game that's not that good. That you could download the app. You have to buy the starter pack, but you still have to download the app, and then downloading the app is free, but I have to pay $65 for the starter pack. Made absolutely no sense. And for those of you who managed to stumble across this, don't even get it for the game. If you still manage to find it, Toys R Us, I managed to get all of this. I managed to get all of these and everything for only $35. The starters and everything. So if you manage to find a Toys R Us that's still open that actually has this, I recommend getting it, because even if for nothing else, just to have this
I got the tools to break the rules.
this cool toy that looks cool, got these awesome looking weapons, they light up, he talks, this, that, the other.
The best.
Like go right ahead, and I strongly recommend getting it. Don't bother with the game, really, unfortunately, but definitely go out and get this guy here. He looks pretty cool. I wish they'd have made the other characters. If you look on the back of the boxes, if you manage to see any, you're gonna know what I'm talking about. They had these other cool characters, but they only got him and that plant thing. Whatever. I'm done talking. You guys have a good night.